What's up, RedTop gang? RTG coming at you hot like an RPG. Yo, Eminem's Unintentional curse on hip-hop. Someone told me this was a good watch. Eminem, big Eminem fan. Real staying shit. You know, how Megan and them, Megan and they say real hot girl shit. What I say, real staying shit. Let's go.
Him back when, you know, he had first come out, and they say it sounds refreshing. It's good to see somebody keeping, you know, that type of aggressive style alive and using wordplay. That's pretty much how a lot of people, what most of the good comments sound like when they say that.
What about the bad ones?
Eminem wannabe, I can't stand this guy, just sounds like a clone.
What happens when a beloved legend inspires a legion of artists who are generally hated by the culture? That's the increasingly prevalent question when it comes to the one and only Marshall Mathers. He's undoubtedly one of the most talented MCs and sharpest wordsmiths to ever live, with his wizardly wordplay, unparalleled emotional vulnerability, and demented sense of humor. But Eminem's once cemented place in the GOAT conversation has been questioned in the past few years, partially for his 2017 album, Revival, which was...
I don't give a fuck nobody say. That Revival album is top 3 to me. Top 3 to me. That Revival album was fire. I don't care what nobody... Wow, I just noticed Eminem was in the fucking flag on this. Wow.
So universally despised that he spent the entirety of Kamikaze sifting through the backlash. But contrary to what his harshest critics say, M's legacy isn't being double-checked primarily for his work. If anything, his lyrics on his 2020 project, Music to Be By, proved that even when pushing 50, he could still spit with the best of them. But today, Eminem's status in rap history is in danger because of the generation of rappers Eminem has inspired, who are at best cheesy and eye-rolling, and at worst, an incredibly obnoxious plague on the culture. Obviously, an incredibly long list of artists have cited Eminem as a huge inspiration. Take Tyler the Creator, for example. M clearly influenced his rebellious and dark crude lyrics. While on the other side of the spectrum of hip-hop, it isn't hard to see how he influenced Kendrick's style of experimenting with different, odd flows and utilizing multiple different voices in the span of one verse to paint a vivid scene. Even J. Cole went as far as to say this about Eminem.
I'm such a huge Eminem fan, and especially from his first 3 albums, I was like all the way in. You know what I mean? I'm still all the way in because he's still amazing. My first song I ever made was literally just biting Eminem and Nas. And if you go listen, you would hear both influences. And I feel like when you start rapping in the beginning, you really just take all your influences and you just rap like them.
It's common for rappers to sound just like their heroes when they start out, but the difference between the Coles and the Kendricks and the less respected artists that Eminem inspired is that Cole and K-Dot started out as an Eminem copycat and then grew out of it, while the less respected artists never grew out of it. Artists like Hopsin and Jordan Lucas heavily borrow from Eminem's flow, delivery, and cadences in ways that have unfortunately turned them into 2 of rap Twitter's most reviled rappers for their perceived unoriginality. Hopsin has cited Eminem as his favorite rapper, and talked about the M comparisons being both a flattering compliment and demeaning insult. But M's fast, rapidy rap style is so intertwined with his reputation that it's easy to forget that he hasn't always rapped like this. Most of his output before 2010 didn't contain fast rapping. With few exceptions, the rapping on his albums from 1999's Slim Shady LP to 2009's Relapse was at a normal pace. Relapse is now considered a cult classic among fans, for its gleefully bizarre artistic decisions, sinister production.
They said it's considered a cult classic, which is crazy because some people say it's one of the worst albums ever, Relapse. That's interesting. I didn't think Relapse was that bad.
And storytelling. But in 2009, his huge
that could be the stand-up kicking in there.
Post-hiatus comeback album was met with mixed reactions. Then, in late 2009, Eminem hopped on the star-studded posse cut Forever with Kanye, Drake, and Lil Wayne, and had what most fans consider to be a show-stopping verse that bodied all other MCs on the track. The Forever verse had a new Eminem, incredibly fast and screaming his lyrics. After the weird accents on Relapse, it felt exciting and new, to the point where Kanye admitted rewriting his verse after hearing M's verse.
When I heard Eminem's verse on the Drake, I went back and rewrote my for 2 days. I canceled appointments to rewrite.
Alright, so I want to take a quick break to thank our friends at Keeps.com. For anyone that
I always heard he said he rewrote, but he said I rewrote it for 2. It took me 2 days to rewrite it. That's
endured a battle with thinning or receding hair, you know that it can be a real uphill battle. Even if it hasn't affected you as of yet, 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. But rather than waiting for that to happen, the best way to prevent that is by getting ahead of the problem. Keeps specializes in doing exactly that. 1,000 men that have put their faith in the way. In essence, Keeps, they provide personalized of heading down, simply put, order PS to the positive mass hysteria /HHM. Alright, let's get back to the video. probably due to the positive mass hysteria it caused, M doubled down on this forever flow in his next album, Recovery, and then continued to double down on it since. And well, the rest is history, really. It's kind of a shame that Forever changed Eminem's rapping style, because some of M's best recent work comes when he ignores his instinct to rap fast, like on the deliberately paced and haunting gun control anthem, Darkness, or his Kid Cudi collaboration, The Adventure of Moon Man and Slim Shady. But the timeline makes sense when you notice that M's rapidy rap type of fast rap clones emerged in the 2010s, post-Forever and post-Recovery. Popular internet rapper Dax has worn his love for Shady on his sleeve, with his aggressively Eminem-esque flow and even going as far to record multiple remixes of M's tracks like Venom, Rap God, and Godzilla. He's shouted Slim Shady out dozens of times and even begun a few of his music videos with messages to Eminem to contact him. The beginning of his Real Slim Shady remix begins with the text, "Everyone go tell Eminem we need to make a hit," and the beginning of his shot video has the written message, "Eminem, you never called, so I made this." While shouting out your heroes is both endearing and relatable, and show Eminem, you never.
Anybody call that number? I wonder if it's still Dak's number. I never seen that. Guess we're not gonna get an answer.
The party you are trying to reach is unavailable. Please leave a message and someone will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, yo, Dax, this your guy, RedTop Reactions, man. Hit your boy back. We need to make a hit. Peace. All right, let's go.
Never called, so I made this. While shouting out your heroes is both endearing and relatable and shows humility, when it gets to the point that your music videos contain bat signals for your hero to email you, some secondhand embarrassment bubbles up for the listener. You could argue that the qualities that make Dax and Hopsin look like Eminem clones aren't exclusive to Eminem. After all, Tech N9ne has the same type of aggressive delivery, consistent multi-syllabic rhyme schemes, and fast-paced flow, but no one has accused Dax or Hopsin of being a Tech N9ne clone. So what sets M apart from Tech N9ne in terms of rappers they've influenced? Perhaps it's because he's more mainstream and more polarizing than Tech. More importantly, skin color. Because a vast majority—
there it goes. There it goes. I was waiting to see how long it took for the skin color, but what sets him in Tech N9ne is the popularity and the mainstream shit.
It's because he's more mainstream and more polarizing than Tech. More importantly, skin color. Because a vast majority of Eminem's clones are white, and M has unintentionally laid out the blueprint for bad white rapper cliches. Eminem has unintentionally birthed what rap Twitter mockingly refers to as lyrical spiritual miracle rappers. A growing crop of mostly white artists who focus all their energy on rapping fast and using big words like "I'm a spiritual lyrical miracle," to the point of being exhausting and boring. Artists like Watsky, Mac Lethal, and Token have built entire careers off of this "look how fast I can rap" style of music. Rapping fast but with nothing of substance to say, smugly looking down on trap music and mumble rap, and preaching—
That's Watsky. I think I did that reaction too, but I feel what he's saying about the just where the guys just come on and rap fast. It did take over for a while. I like the fast rap shit when there's still something being said. So I completely feel what he's saying.
About missing real hip hop have become staples of bad white rappers. Go on YouTube and TikTok and you'll find no shortage of Caucasian MCs who scream a fast-paced overabundance of syllables like "I'm a lyrical spiritual miracle individual in a pit bull residual minuscule swimming pool," and peppering their bars with grievances about how current stars like Future or Young Thug aren't intelligent or lyrical enough. It's not uncommon for hip-hop fans to share videos of white lyrical miracle rappers on Twitter with jokes like "Eminem will have to pay for his sins." It's a type of pretentious and needlessly combative death to mumble rap attitude that feels played out and cheesy. This type of exhausting and pretentious white rap has become so ubiquitous with hip-hop culture that it's now the target of many internet parodies, further proving how fed up the culture is with it.
I'm a spiritual, lyrical, individual, spiritual, miracle, lyrical, individual, spiritual, miracle, individual. Skipping and flipping and dipping and skipping and flipping and dipping and illest, the killest, the skill of the willest. I'm the realest of the realest. I'm bringing real hip-hop back, don't you ever forget it.
The irony with these kinds of rappers is they bash trap music because it has nothing to say, but their fast-paced rapping also has nothing to say. Sure, it rhymes a lot, but at the end of the day, anyone with the ability to talk fast and access rhymezone.com can do this. But spitting 100 syllables a second is even harder to understand than the mumble style of Lil Yachty or Playboi Carti. Eminem's reaction to this growing class of MCs has been mixed. On his 2018 track Fall from his Kamikaze album, he brags about inspiring Logic and Hopsin. He also collaborated with Logic on the 2019 Homicide, which completely embraces the grating, speedy style of lyrical miracle syllable cramming. The song becomes self-aware and goes out of its way to parody itself, ending with a sample of the now disgraced comedian Chris D'Elia's Eminem impression that went viral on Instagram.
You using way too many napkins, papkins, lapkins and chapkins. You using chapstick and napkins while I'm papkin.
M has also collaborated with Joyner Lucas on the Kamikaze track Lucky You and praised him in interviews as one of his favorite rappers, even naming him among Kendrick and J. Cole as his favorite MCs. But despite his kind words for Joyner, Logic, and Hopsin, M has also criticized some of his lyrical miracle offspring, like NF, a white rapper who briefly made waves on mainstream radio with the single Let You Down, where he sounds, well, just like Eminem. A Christian rapper who criticizes
I actually like NF. I like, well, it's because I know I like dramatic shit, basically. I like hurt shit.
Single
basically.
Let You Down, where he sounds, well, just like Eminem. A Christian rapper who criticizes the profanity and perceived shallowness of mainstream rap, NF has touted 8 Mile as the reason he started to pick up the mic, rapping on his track, No, I've been doing this since I was just a kid and mama bought me 8 Mile at the movie store. And you can hear the influence, but not in a good way. He's basically a copy and paste recovery era Eminem clone, but without the curse words. NF's delivery and flow sound like early 2010s Eminem, and he even dresses like Eminem. NF didn't just follow up Eminem's blueprint, he straight up just stole it. This is something that even NF has admitted.
All I listened to for like 4 years straight was Eminem, and that was it. And obviously, when that's all you listen to, it's a huge, he was a huge influence. You could hear it in my music too much.
So it must have stung for NF when his own hero insulted him for copying it. On Kamikaze's intro, The Ringer, M uses wordplay to take shots at NF saying, I just sound like everyone else in the industry, especially a recovery clone of me. M also perceivably dissed Token on the Kamikaze track, Greatest, perhaps the king of the lyrical spiritual miracle style of white rap. Another blatant Eminem clone who even goes out of his way to look like M. Token has taken M's style but subtracted the wit, creativity, and humor, and just kept the angry delivery and fast rapping. Look no further than Token's track Doozy as an example, where he raps his disdain for most rap due to its poor quality, spits convoluted bars at a dizzying pace with nothing of substance in them, and screams his lyrics in a way that feels more annoying than powerful. Rapidly cramming bars like, I got a pretty fan waiting in my minivan next to each other may rhyme well, but they ring hollow, especially when they have no space to breathe. What good is a meticulously crafted lyric if you can't understand it? M also referenced all his bad imitators with the hook on Greatest, where he spits, Woke up to honky sounding like me, never be as good, never be as good. And on his 2020 track, Unaccommodating, Slim cringes at the artists he's inspired spitting, showed them the blueprint and formula. But it seems like the more they study my music, the more they remind me of eyeballs. I'm watching my pupils get cornier. Truth is, fast rapping has become such a staple.
That I remember that bar. That shit was crazy. It remind me of eyeballs. I'm watching my pupils get cornier. That bar was fire.
I'm watching my pupils get cornier. Truth is, fast rapping has become such a staple of white rappers that it's probably why Jack Harlow is so popular. Jack's flow, which is typically slow, unbelievably smooth and confident, feels like a breath of fresh air. His cadence has a calm charisma to it, coming off like he doesn't need to rap 700 words in 10 seconds to prove that he's good at rap.
Jack Harlow is trash. Prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong. Jack Harlow is not trash tonight. Somebody prove me wrong.
Calm charisma to it, coming off like he doesn't need to rap 700 words in 10 seconds to prove that he's good at rapping.
I think he has a nice change of pace from the generation of white boys that we've been subjected to over and over and over, who come into the genre with an air about them, with a chip on their shoulder, because they've survived on a steady diet of Eminem and mostly Eminem, or artists who are in like that Eminem orbit. So basically they just kind of live and breathe that sound and that attitude and that style. So of course they're hopping on the mic saying like, yeah, you never thought a white boy could rap like this. I'm gonna change the game. We're saving hip hop here, brother.
This is also one of the reasons why the late Mac Miller is so adored and held in such beloved regard. In a 2015 Ringer article, Mac and Vince Staples discussed the topic of white rappers and voiced their distaste for white lyrical miracle rappers and came to the conclusion that white rap is its own genre, a very bad genre. Even Lil Dicky has mocked this style of fast rapping on his That's a Joke from his FX series, Dave, where he raps fast at the beginning of the song and then stops himself and says, what am I even doing? Why am I rapping like this? I'm such a loser, I hate when rappers try to rap fast. But if these clones weren't bad enough, they pale in comparison to Eminem's worst and final imitator, Tom MacDonald. A white rapper
Oh shit, did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. He said the worst wow. He's mentioned so many names like Token and Logic, but the worst. like get in the bag for no good reason. The worst, like wow.
Pale in comparison to Eminem's
Didn't see
worst
that
and
coming.
final imitator,
Wow.
Tom MacDonald. A white rapper who cites Eminem as his hero so frequently that he made a song dedicated to Eminem titled Dear Slim, where he raps on a beat produced by Eminem that he purchased in the form of an NFT. MacDonald, who Rolling Stone refers to as a MAGA rap kingpin, has appeared on Fox News and built up a cult following that largely intersects with the alt-right for dropping songs where he mocks woke culture, the Me Too movement, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and frequently raps about how white privilege.
He said mocks. Well, I start reacting to Tom MacDonald. It mocks these movements.
Woke culture and built up a cult following that largely intersects with the alt-right for dropping songs where he mocks woke culture, the Me Too movement, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and frequently raps about how white privilege doesn't exist on tracks like White Boy, Straight White Male, and If I Was Black. Another frequent theme of Tom MacDonald's lyrics is his hatred for rap. He even has a track titled I Hate HipHop, a self-explanatory song where he unloads his intense disdain for mumble rap, SoundCloud rap, boom bap rap, conscious rap, emo rap, pop rap, rap that uses autotune, gangster rap, and well, basically every single type of rap except for rap songs made by angry white dudes. The song hook ends with the bar, I hate hip-hop, the whole culture is they'll kill their mama for some clout and a chain. The problem with Tom MacDonald is that he doesn't do the fast rapidy rap that other M clones do, but he essentially took Eminem's angry delivery and rebellious attitude towards the establishment and used it to air his own racial grievances. And while Eminem spent plenty of kamikaze airtime dissing seemingly every rapper in America, he has a continued history of proving his lifelong love for everything hip-hop, even going out of his way to wear t-shirts for classic rap albums like Master Ace's Slaughterhouse on stage, in hopes that the kids in his fanbase seek these albums out to broaden their hip-hop palette.
This was called the Rapture Tour, but originally it was gonna be called the Rap Shirt Tour, and I'm gonna tell you why, because hopefully
Rap? How the fuck do you spit bars just by talking? Rap? It was going to be called the Rapture Tour, but it was going to be called the Rap Shirt Tour. What? How you get wordplay just by talking?
it was gonna be called the Rap Shirt Tour, and I'm gonna tell you why, because hopefully some of y'all might go buy their albums, might go look them up. Like a lot of you, maybe you don't know who Master Ace was or Coogee Rap, but I feel like you need to know because what they did for hip hop is so incredible because they made it go to that next level. And these are the rappers that inspired me, man.
It feels borderline impossible to imagine some of Eminem's white clones showing this much enthusiasm for old school hip hop. Former Shady Records signee Conway the Machine once expressed in a Vlad TV interview that being signed by Shady didn't attract new fans because M's fan base is filled with nerds and stans who don't like hip hop. They just like Eminem.
What was that tidal wave like when suddenly all the Eminem fans became aware of what you guys are doing?
A bunch of nerds and stans that don't understand me and they don't relate to what I bring to the table with my music. It's
Really?
just like, all that, where's M? Where is Eminem? We want an M album.
So with so many new Eminem fans that don't like rap and only like Eminem, it's not a surprise that so many of the Eminem fans who were inspired by M to start rapping end up sounding just like Eminem and disliking any of their musical peers who don't sound just like Eminem. So with M's love for hip-hop culture, admitting to being a guest, and using his fame to spread awareness of injustice, a lot of M's clones skipped all of these positive attributes and just interpreted M's playbook as being one page, a page that says, rap fast and be angry. Hopefully, M's legacy as one of the all-time greats can survive the monster he's accidentally created. All in all, the argument against lyrical miracle rap is that just because you're good at rapping doesn't mean you're a good rapper. Just because you're gifted at rapping fast and using big words and complex rhyme schemes doesn't mean you can make music that's enjoyable to listen to. And many of rap's greats have the ability to do fast-paced, wordy rap, but simply choose not to. Not because it's difficult for them, but because they know it's less pleasant to listen to.
Facts. If y'all listen closely, they said early Eminem was not like that. Eminem just started doing music and having fun with it after a certain point. But that Tom MacDonald shit blew my fucking cap back. But I did not see that coming. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Do y'all agree? Do you disagree? It said the unintentional curse, but the unintentional curse was on other white rappers and other even black rappers that kind of mimicked Eminem and didn't at some point create their own styles. Like they mentioned Kendrick and Cole, Like they mimicked Eminem, but they eventually came into their own style, and then they kind of still blew up like that. But y'all let me know, man, in the comments. RedTop Gang, we out. Peace.